Have you ever wondered how much darkness is inside you? While it's true that no one is perfect and we all experience dark thoughts here and there, it's also true that some people are more inclined to darkness than others. Are you wondering how dark your zodiac sign is? Keep watching to find out. Aries. Arians aren't particularly dark, but they're certainly intimidating. Their lack of a dark side comes from their general inability to bottle things up and their explosive personality, which keeps them from developing a dark side to begin with. However, that doesn't mean they can't be downright frightening when they want to. Taurus. Though they might appear peaceful and relaxed, Taurus has a fairly dark side that almost no one knows of. Taurians can be possessive and controlling, particularly when it comes to those they care about, which has the unfortunate consequence of scaring people away. Of course, that only makes Taurus more insecure, which in turn makes them more controlling and possessive. Gemini. Geminis are neither dark nor light. They're gray, which empowers them to see the world from different angles without getting sucked into either. Of course, that's only the case for well-balanced Geminis, as there's always the chance they'll flip-flop between the dark and the light without the ability to choose what side they prefer. There's a reason why people say Geminis are indecisive, after all. Cancer. Believe it or not, Cancers have a very dark side, though their darkness isn't made with black, but rather with very dark shades of blue. Their emotional nature can spiral out of control if they're not careful, and when that happens, their emotions grow darker and darker, leading to a very, very dark side. Leo. Though it might seem hard to believe, Leos don't have a dark side. They're too busy trying to outshine others that the limelight they surround themselves with scares the darkness away. This, of course, doesn't mean Leos are saints, but rather that they're usually too focused on themselves to cultivate a dark side. Virgo. Surprisingly, Virgos don't have much of a dark side, but they're excellent at identifying other people's darkness. Unfortunately, because of their obsessive nature, that can lead them down a rather dark path in which they see darkness in everyone that surrounds them. Everyone but themselves, that is. Virgo's holier-than-thou attitude tends to keep them on the bright side of things, if only so they can lord it over others. Libra. Surprising absolutely no one, Libra is the right balance between darkness and light, which does mean that they get to see situations from different perspectives and can interact with people of all walks of life. Unfortunately, the fact that they're black and white rather than grayscale means that they can only experience darkness or light, never a mix of both, so they're less likely to be as impartial and balanced as they believe themselves to be. Scorpio. Scorpios are very, very dark, and everyone knows it. Scorpios might be great at manipulating others, but even when they're pretending to be saints, people can tell there's darkness lurking underneath. This, of course, can be used to their advantage, which they do quite frequently, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Sagittarius. While it's true that Sagittarius tend to be fairly superficial, they don't have much of a dark side to speak of. Maybe it's the fact that they can't even commit to darkness, but their dark side is nearly non-existent. With Sagittarius, what you see is what you get, and they're perfectly content with that. Capricorn. Darkness can be seductive, and that's where Capricorn comes in. They're the very definition of dark and mysterious, and their darkness is far more likely to attract people than to scare them away. Who knew such a thing was possible? Aquarius. Aquarius doesn't have much of a dark side, since they're too focused on pleasing others to cultivate one to begin with. They can grow resentful if their efforts aren't appreciated, but when that happens, they're more likely to turn their anger inwards than outwards, hurting only themselves in the process. That, or they'll simply walk off. Pisces. One would think sweet Pisces couldn't have an ounce of darkness in their body, but the truth is more complicated than that. As one of the most sensitive signs of the zodiac, Pisces can cultivate quite a lot of darkness, but they don't often do anything with it. Beware of the angry Pisces, though, as they're completely unafraid of unleashing their darkness on others.